My name is Rosa Grusty, and I'm an animal communicator. I know that many of you have asked me, what makes my classes so different in animal communications than other animal communication classes? Well, let me explain from the beginning. I started animal communications, dabbling in it, about 6 years ago. My dog was very sick. She was dying. She had congestive heart failure. And I started dabbling online with different courses. I wasn't really very good at it, let me put it that way. I would take courses and I'd read them and I'd practice them, and sometimes I'd get it, sometimes I wouldn't. It just wasn't clicking, let's put it that way. So I was driving along one day and my dog contacted me. All of a sudden I heard my dog talking to me in my ears. And she told me to turn around, and she wanted me to come home and call the vet because she was ready to go. She wanted to be put down. She wanted assistance. Now, I knew that her time was close, and like all of us animal owners, we kind of postpone it, and we try to hang out there as long as we can. But I thought we had a few more weeks, and she wanted to leave. She felt it was her time. So when I went home, I picked up the phone and called the vet. And she came out of her room. She was very sick. She was sleeping in her own little room. And she sat in front of me, and she actually listened to the whole conversation. And once I made the appointment for the next morning and hung up the phone, she went back in her room very happily and went back to sleep. And I said, oh, wow. And she not only communicated with me, but she listened to me, and she wanted to really hear that it was going to happen. So the next day, of course, the dreadful thing of, putting her down, it was very sad. And the whole time in the car, she kept saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I kept hearing it in my ears. And so after it was over, I calmed down and everything, as we all, get very emotional. I said to myself, what a wonderful thing to be able to have her share her feelings with me at such a time, and for me to respond in another way that I could really communicate with her. I mean, we all talk to our pets. We talk to them orally, verbally, but really, do they understand what we're actually saying sometimes? And do we understand what they want and what they desire? I mean, sometimes they give us motions and they lead us to something that they want. But deep down, they have emotions just like us. They have souls just like us that we need to connect to. So after Bonnie passed away, I decided to continue, and I started going to different courses, and I went with different teachers. And as you all know, every teacher has a different style. And with every teacher, you may not click, you may not pick up everything from every teacher, but even if you just pick one little thing out of each lesson and each technique, it helps. Well, it took, I'd say, about 2 good years before I could really do it well. I would practice on Facebook, I would practice with friends, I would practice with my animals and things like that. And I said to myself, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Has to be. Don't have to read hundreds and hundreds of pages and spend thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars on courses that you may get maybe one little thing out of, or maybe you may not even click with the person. So I decided to design a course of the way I would have wanted to learn. I wanted to learn a certain way. I was a teacher for 33 years, and I said, there's got to be a way for me to do this. And so I put this course together. My course is a little bit different than all the other animal communication courses that you'll see online or you'll see in a book or anywhere else. I believe on hands-on techniques. I believe that people need to mold their brain, their third eye, whatever you want to call it, into animal communications. It's very easy to say, oh, I'm just going to talk to this animal, I'm just going to talk to that animal. It isn't as easy as you think. You have to train your brain to do it. You're talking about the right side of your brain that you're working with. Okay, the creative part, the intuitive part of your brain, not the left side, which is the intellectual and what we learn in school, and it's very linear. All right, so the course that I teach is quite different. Of course, I do give you the basics. I start out with different protections, which I believe in protections. I will also tell you how to clear your mind, because you have to clear your mind in order to be able to do this. I will also tell you how to interpret different things that come through and how they come through. So everybody gets them differently. Some people get images, some people get thoughts, some people just get claircognizance where they just know the answer. We work with that also. And the biggest thing is that we learn to make intentions. If we don't have the intentions correctly, then we won't have a good reading. So let me just show you an example, a few examples actually, of how I teach in class. Everything in my class is PowerPoint. With lecturing, well, I lecture a little bit the first class with the basics, but basically I teach and then we practice. I teach and we practice. Okay, so it's a way of learning and hands-on. So let me just show you an example, just so you get an idea of how my classes are. Just bear with me for a second. Okay. All right, first of all, I firmly believe that you should strengthen your psychic skills when you're working with animal communications. Everyone has them. Don't say, I can't do it, I'm not psychic. Everyone is born with some type of psychic skills. So what we do is we work on perfecting them and strengthening them. Okay? So an example of this would be, I would show you a picture. This is after we've gone through all the basics and you've learned how to connect. Okay, then we start pulling in the psychic skills and blending them with the connections. Okay, so here I show you a picture. Here's a lion and a cub. The cub has just come in front of the lion, just walked right in front of it. What is the lion going to do with the cub? What's he going to do? He's going to bite him, knock him over, roar at him. Use your psychic abilities. So think about this right now. Just look at the picture. Take a second. Okay? Write it down if you have to. Let's go to the next picture. This is your psychic abilities, not connecting. You're not connecting with the animal yet. Here is a dog. He was given a new toy. What is he going to do with the toy? Bite it, toss it, play with it, lick it. What is he going to do with it? Use your psychic abilities. Just look at him. Okay? Always focus in on the eyes. Right? Okay, so let's find out if you were right. Watch. Dog with the toy. Nothing. Okay, so the lion really basically just pushed him aside and asked him to go to the side. He didn't want him near him, in front of him at least. And the dog did absolutely nothing. Okay. How many of you are correct, or at least close? If not, that's okay. We just keep going until we perfect our psychic abilities. And not everyone is going to get everything 100%. And when I am teaching animal communications, we work with either animals that are face-to-face. We have sitters come in towards the end of our classes. Once we learn how to connect and we know how to do an animal communication, and I feel that people have enough confidence in themselves, I start bringing sitters in. And they come in with their live animals. And it's all done on Zoom. This is very interesting because people come in with some type of a problem or some type of issue that they want to ask the animal, and the students help them. And it's pretty cool. Then we have pictures. We work with pictures. Okay. People send us pictures, or I present pictures of animals who are either alive or in spirit. We even read each other's animals, which is pretty cool. For you to be able to share with your classmates something about their animal, either who is alive or is in spirit. This really is a great feeling, very rewarding when you do something like this, especially for a friend, a classmate. And then we also work with videos. Now, you have to realize when you're working with pictures and you're working with the videos, energy is sealed in. So what we do is we connect with the energy of the animal in the video. But we do this before we see the whole video. I only show part of it, or I just show the picture. It's all interactive. We learn and we practice. Learn and practice. My beginner's course is 4 classes. During the 4 classes, we learn about vibrations and meditations, how to raise them. We also learn about how to look at a picture and find out if an animal is really alive or has passed. This is very crucial when you're dealing with an animal who's lost or missing. We will also be learning how to write a professional online reading. A lot of you like to answer different animal communication posts that are online. There is a certain technique of how to write it properly so you look professional and you know what you're talking about. Or if you have a client that asks you for an emailed reading, you need to know how to put it into words in a certain outline, how to do it so you act professional. Okay, and the last thing is we practice, practice, practice. This isn't the type of course you just sit here and listen and take notes. We practice. So for those of you who really want to learn, really love animals, really want to get a grip on it, this is the course for you. Thank you for listening. I hope to see you in one of my classes soon. Take care. Bye.